Morning, Trainiacs. Keto versus veganism. I'll allow you some time to start sharpening your pitchforks now. However, I have potentially the answer of what will work best for you. So over the last, I'd say year or so, a lot of to-dos have been done about keto, which is very high fat, high protein, very low carb. It's basically starving your body of carbs to get your body into what's called ketogenesis. And this results in fat loss. It results in apparently basically flushing out a lot of cancer cells in your body. Apparently, a lot of people report increased mental acuity, increased strength, better ability to get through things like chemotherapy or fasting, things like that. However, there's also the other side of the camp, which comes with an equal amount of scientific evidence. Those are the vegans that are saying that plant-based whole food diets are what humans are meant to eat. And both camps are basically equally as loud and have an equal amount of things to say about should you be eating just tons and tons of butter or should you be eating tons and tons of greenery. And it becomes very confusing with what people should be eating. Well, I ended up getting confused by it and I went searching for an answer and I think I've got one. Let's go sit down and talk about it. Come on guys, come up here. Come on. Yeah. There we go. Let's make the internet fight. So beyond just being outright confusing, it's actually not safe to be supporting just keto dieting or just veganism without a backing to understand how it works for you specifically. And the reason for that is our genetic predisposition to one diet or another makes a huge difference for how our body reacts. Bye, Pete. How our body reacts to one diet over another. For example, there's actually one genetic variation that will actually take a keto diet and it'll actually make your body more glucose sensitive to sugar, which is the exact opposite of what a keto diet supports it is able to do. And on the other hand, a vegan diet tends to be a little bit more higher in carbs, more fruits, more vegetables, just eating more carbs as a percentage of how much you're eating than you are with more of a primal or a keto diet. And some people don't do very well on that. They can't handle any starches, any sugars, anything at all that sends their blood sugar through the roof. So in both camps, they're wrong, saying that their way is the right way. What is right is what's right for you. And what I found to do that was Habit.com. And just so you know, this is not an ad in any way, shape, or form. They sent it out to me because I was really interested in trying it. It's not paid. They don't know that I'm doing this. I did not check with them to fact check anything and get talking points. This is me just telling you what I think about Habit. So it's a blood test that you administer yourself. Package comes and it is packaged really well, very straightforward with all the steps that you need to do. Basically what you end up doing is you fast overnight and then when you wake up in the morning, you do one blood draw to set a baseline of what your fasted state is. Then you slam back this massive Habit shake that mimics the typical American diet with caffeine, with carbs, with fat, with protein. That is tasteful. I think it's 950 calories and you feel it. They actually warn you and they say something like, because you've taken this on the empty stomach, it's normal to feel a little abnormal after, and I felt abnormal after. And then 30 minutes after you take that shake, you do another blood draw, filling up this little piece of paper with blood. And then 90 minutes after that, you take another blood draw. So what you've got is you've got a baseline of what your body's biochemistry is just set as standard at a fasted state. Then you've got your quick reaction of what your body does immediately after taking on calories, and then you have a difference between those two of how your body processes those calories and those macronutrients long term. So this is the Habit.com website, and I'll say that the buying process, the process to actually do the test and like prick yourself with needles and all of that, it's really well laid out. And then about 25 days after you send the blood test back, you get the results. And mine look like this. Apparently, I can handle fat like a pro. I handle carbs all right. I need a normal amount of protein. My health markers look good. My weight is in the ideal range. I don't have the lactose intolerance gene variants. That's not saying I'm not lactose intolerant. That's saying that my genes don't point towards being lactose intolerant. And I have a normal amount of caffeine sensitivity. But here's where it gets really cool. You click on see your nutrition plan. And because I want to get down to a race weight from my 157 to 159 right now to 150, I've entered that into the back end and it spits out how many calories I need to average, 3,260, and my percentage of daily macronutrients. And this is how much carbs, how much fat, and how much protein I should have ideally situated for me. So let's say somebody that is more glucose sensitive should have less carbs and they would do better on a more ketogenic diet. And then what they do is they actually start recommending foods for you. So in my case, watch out for hidden sugars, and it gives you actual tangible things like here are the types of foods that you should be avoiding. It gives you your ideal food groups and how many servings of things you should eat and examples of them: beans, nuts, seeds, oils for fats, fruits, what the good foods are. Gives you what your hero foods are. These are the foods that are ideally suited for me. I did put in that I'd prefer to eat vegan, so it'll actually tailor it towards that. How much fibers, how much folate, how much magnesium. You also get all of your biomarkers here. And it's all very visual, and if you're in green zones, you're in a good spot. So all of this is given to you, and I want to say it is $299. Pete got scared. He's back. Gracie's a strong, independent female dog. She ain't scared of anything. So none of this is to plug habit. This is to get you in the habit. Oh, is that what they're going for? Of understanding what you should specifically be doing, not just for food, but for training. There are different methods for different types of people. Some people do really well with keto or vegan. Some people do really well with really high amounts of training volume. Some people do really well with very low but intense amounts of training volume. You have to figure out what works for you. So I know that this isn't an exact answer, and it's kind of like an unanswer of a video, but it at least points you in a direction. And opens your eyes to the thought that the people that are out there with pitchforks saying, keto, 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 it's the way to do it. And then the other people that are out there with like spoons and hemp skirts saying, vegan, vegan, vegan. Neither one is 100% right. They both have aspects of being right, and they probably agree on actually 80 to 90% of their individual premises, but it's that 10% that puts them into one camp or another and develops a dogma that is probably too strict one way or another to be applicable to all athletes out there. One thing that we did a while ago, if you're looking to go on like a weight loss journey and be overall healthy and not feel like you're dieting, we did a 4-part video series on triathlon training with weight loss that you can check out right here. And if you aren't yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell to get all of our daily triathlon videos. They're really good. And they've got a lot of dogs.